Welcome to the Wandering Road, a place where the unseen moves all around us. The stories you'll hear aren't just whispered legends. They're shadows that cling, footsteps that follow, and whispers that never fade. Every turn pulls you closer to the unknown, and once you've heard what waits here, the night will never feel the same again.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Wandering Road podcast. I'm your host Chris. That is my co-host Dean doing a weird ass like anime cat dance. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, dude. I don't want to ask. I don't want to know.
Sometimes you just gotta groove, man. I have to move with my soul.
You've been listening to 80s Madonna, haven't you?
Only in the bathroom while crying. Only in the shower, sobbing.
You sob in the shower like Ace Ventura.
With the mascara running down.
Right. Oh man. For today's episode, we kind of started talking about this weird ass fucking dream that you had.
Yeah.
About a demon trying to get your soul, right? So
Yeah.
for the theme
And-
of today's episode is going to be dreams. So ideally what we'll be looking to do is Dean and I will share some of our creepy dreams, maybe some dreams that we've had that are like really weird. And one thing I'm always interested in is like dreams of visitations from loved ones. I don't know if you've ever had any of those. We could probably go into that. And just our general thoughts on, how this all links together, maybe from a paranormal perspective or could be something else. But dude, why don't you kick us off with that weird dream you were telling me about earlier?
By the way, when you said that, I heard the collective like, "Oh God!" from all the listeners, like here they go with this demon of the night bullshit trying to steal his soul. No, I promise you, it's much more interesting and it's actually kind of funny. And let me preface.
It sounds like something pulled out of Adult Swim, which I find fucking hilarious. So
yeah, I probably did dream it because there was some swirling Adult Swim in there somewhere. I've been watching Smiling Friends, which is like quickly exploding in popularity. And I don't know why I like that show it reminds me of the days whenever Aqua Teen Hunger Force was just peaking and like people were just starting to like hear about it and it's spreading and whatnot. And have you seen Smiling Friends yet?
I have not.
No. Okay.
No.
I think you might like it. It's like really wacky, like way wackier than Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but it's got that same vibe to it. Okay, let me preface by saying the dream. Okay, I don't dream about demons. I don't even remember if I've ever dreamt about demons. Maybe like sometime in the distant past, but it's like I can't even think of the last time, if any. I have had dreams about monsters and stuff. Like I've had, zombie dreams, like monsters, even like vampires chasing you occasionally, like trying to run away, like in those like salt sweat dreams after you eat too much crappy food. So like I've had that, but this was like a very lucid, very clear, not like being chased kind of dream. So let me just paint the picture. I won't go into too much detail because I don't want to make it too boring, but just picture like this giant open boardwalk style deck but it's like comically big, right? It's like the size of 3 football fields and no eating area, like outside deck, whatever. Even Coney Island would probably be this big. It was massive. And there were a lot of people there. They were all eating like outside, kind of like American style deep fried food and whatnot. And I was supposed to be meeting some friends there. And I don't know these people. Like, sometimes you have dreams, you don't know the people. Or I'm on this like deck or whatever, like at a table, people walking around working and whatnot, and then regular people. I look in the distance and the people I'm supposed to be meeting, like I recognize them, like, oh, here they come. But they're really far away. So it's going to take a while for them to get there. So while I'm waiting there, I have this interaction with this like busboy. And he kind of looks like, the best way I can describe it is like young Eminem. He was kind of like tall, not lanky, but skinny, but he had like a buzz cut, full head of hair, but got buzz cut. And I'm like, I'm interacting with him and talking to him. He asked me something and he's just, he's normal. And then I'm looking at him and then suddenly he just gets this sinister look on his face and his eyes like go yellowish red, like cat eyes or something. Like they just turn. And in my dream, I just knew the answer right away. I'm like, oh God, you're a demon, aren't you? And he looked at me and he had this look. And I was like, yep, I'm a demon from hell. And I'm like, oh God. And he starts coming at me like he's going to kill me or something. But then he stops. He asked me this question. He holds up this image in front of me I think it was like I didn't tell you this part yet, but it was a fish. That's really weird. It was like an angel fish or something, which is actually kind of poetic. But he puts up this angel fish in my field of vision, and he's like, if you touch this fish, all you have to do is reach out and touch this fish of your free will, and I will give you everything you want in the entire world. Like every wish, like anything you could ever want is yours. You just have to trade your immortal soul for it. And in the dream, I hope this is a testament to my like will and my power in real life. In the dream, I did not miss a beat. I'm like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. And I started going off on I'm like, who in their right mind would trade their fucking immortal soul for like a blip of pleasure on a planet that you're going to be alive for maybe 80 years, 90? Like what like 90 years versus infinite hell, like, or infinite whatever. Like I'm like, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. No. I was just like, no. Like
No.
even if I don't make it, like even if I don't have like a good life or whatever, like that's like I'm literally throwing myself away like to do that right now. Like I don't understand why someone would do that. Doesn't make any sense to me. This is when it kind of turned into Adult Swimish. It was like he's like, yeah, sorry. Like I know it's but it's sometimes it works, you know. I got to try. And I'm dead ass. Like I'm so serious. This is how the dream went. And so after that conversation, and he was a busboy, by the way, he worked there as a busboy, and he was still working as a busboy when I was leaving. But I had met up with the people, whatever, and we were walking out, and I saw him on the way out, and I'm like, I walked up to him by myself. I'm like, hey man, listen, I know, you know, you and I both know that you came out like you're a demon, whatever. Like I'm not gonna go telling people. Like I'm gonna save this, and but I can't, dude, please, I have to ask you. Just give me one question. I have one question about hell I want to know. And he's like, ah. Fuck. All right. What's the question? and in the dream, I can't really remember. I think the question that I had queued up for him was like, something like, "Oh, is it like people in hell? Are they really stuck there? Like, is there no like something like that? Is it really like layers of hell or something? Is it like Dante's Inferno or something like that?" But before I got to speak the question to him, I woke up, and it was like one of those like, man, it would have been so interesting to see what my subconscious. And I bet you I woke up because my subconscious reached a point in the dream where I don't have an answer in my brain as to what that could be like. So my brain is probably like, oh, now let's cut it off. Like we don't have an answer, so let's just wake him up. But I don't know. Like I just thought, like I don't really talk about dreams, and I don't think my dreams are that interesting that often. But this one really stood out because it was so unique, man.
Yeah. You can make like a whole skit about that.
Yeah, that would be fun, right?
Yeah. Like, hey man, you touch this picture of this fish, you'll get whatever you want. But we get your soul in exchange. You fit Carl from Aqua Teen in there. What the hell is wrong with you?
That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
Get the fuck away from me.
That's the dumbest shit ever. Why? Why would I do that? My life already sucks.
This is one of your friends from it. Get him the hell out of here.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Oh man, I think it's time to rewatch that show. It's been a while. I need to watch the Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah, with Goblox.
Goblox. Do you know who Goblox is? I will tell you who Goblox is. Man. Okay, we're not gonna go we're gonna lose all our viewers because we're gonna go into a half an hour skit of Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Thanksgiving turkey from 3,000 years in the past from the future.
With laser socks.
Who's lasers? And they go to Carl's. There's like thousands of them, and they knock on the door, and he's like, who you're looking for is over right next door." Carl opens the door, and they're like, "Who is that?" And he's eating a turkey leg, and he's like, "Your mother." And they just blast him with the
this is he's like, and then he's like, fuck it in his mind. Your mother.
Oh God, such a good
such a brilliant show. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, the stupid shit we used to watch. Can you believe that show was like over 20 years old?
Yeah. But you know what though? Like I feel like people who don't know shows like that, like especially older generations, they would like you would have them sit down and watch it like South Park, and they would just think it's all toilet humor. Like this is all the stupidest shit you could possibly imagine. But the underlying theme and the tempo and the interactions between the character like the characters is brilliant. Like literally, like it's artistically brilliant in my mind. That like I can never come up with that flow. And
No.
on the surface, it looks like to somebody like who would it just looks dumb shit, like random stuff happening. But the actual interactions and the dialogue and stuff is like brilliant. Anytime I have a chance to say that, I have to say it. And I'll tell you after, like, I'll give the baton to you, but I do have another one in a similar vein. You got to remind me, when I was 11, I had a dream about a genie and wishes. That was kind of similar, but I want to hear what's your craziest, most recent dream? Do you have anything like similar like that, or good or
Oh
bad?
God, it's not at the Aqua Teen level.
Okay.
It really isn't. It's
I'm gonna fix
just
my camera.
okay. So this one's kind of stupid. I tend to have like the weirdest, the weird dream I had recently. My animals were talking.
That's cool.
Like I don't know why.
Like
And
to
like
you?
yeah, and like my golden
Oh,
retriever sounded like a mob boss. It was so
hey,
it
that's
was so
Aquafina.
fucking
That's Adult Swim.
stupid. It was so stupid.
Hey, Fatso, you need to give me more food. You need to put more food in my bowl.
I'm gonna break your friggin' legs. Like
Dude, that'd be so funny if you had a mob boss like Dog. Like that's his soul.
yeah, that'd be actually pretty hilarious. But yeah, that like I would have like weird dreams like that. Or if I go to like fall asleep watching something, I'll
Mhm.
dream of
Oh,
that like particular thing. Like if
yeah.
I'm watching like a documentary or something like that about like Rome or some sort of historical documentary or aliens or something like that, I'll dream of that type of scenario. But every so often I'll have like something strange like that where like animals are talking or it's
Yep.
just going about like my daily life, but
Interesting.
just it'll be like going about daily life, and I think we've talked about this before, kind of like precognition type of dreams. Like I'll
Okay.
have
Yeah.
those more often than not, and it'll be dreams of things that I don't recognize initially.
Right.
Okay, this is kind of funny and weird at the same time. So about a week ago, I was sitting at my desk and I was working. It was the middle of the fucking day. And then I had deja vu. And then I remembered a dream that I had about
Oh.
6 years ago
Oh man.
when I
Yes.
lived over at that other house that you visited when you came out this way. Remember that place before I moved to this new one?
Yeah, the kind of creepy place that was like a log cabin in the middle of nowhere.
No,
The basement was all there's a fireplace. Yeah,
right.
dude.
No, I did have fireplace. But yeah, it's like I remember back to when I dreamt about being at this exact moment and it kind of creeped me the fuck out. And I was working at the same job I am right now and doing the same exact thing. And I'm like, why do I have such heavy deja vu? And then I just remember back to that dream. And
Yeah.
it happens once or twice a year.
Yep.
It's really fucking strange. And I can't explain.
Before you keep going, I want to tell you you're not alone. I know exactly what kind of dream you're talking about, and I've had the same experience as well where year 1 or 2 or 3 years later, you realize in that moment that you dreamt about this. You clearly remember the dream. It's not like a fuzzy, like, did I dream about this? You have images from your
Yeah.
memory about the dream you had, and you are in that spot right now. Maybe it's not exactly the same, but it's pretty freaking close. I think I talked about that once before, but yeah, like keep going, man. That's creepy.
It like hits you like a bat, like all the images from the dream, it just like plays back in your head like a movie, and it's really fucking weird. Do I want to say it's creepy? To an extent, because when you
Y-
get that initial shock of like, holy shit,
Yeah,
I dreamt about this.
existential. Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
it's
like
like,
real.
wait, whoa, I need to take a second, you know, and process this. Other than that, like I can't. Well, I've had. Oh, okay, all right.
Here we go.
Do
But
you want to share
no, I want to hear
your
your looking down at your desk and sighing dream. That's the
okay,
that's
okay.
I know the heavy one's coming. Here we go.
Okay. This one, there were a couple. So a couple years ago, or 3 years, my mom and my sister were coming to visit from Florida. Prior to them coming here, literally the night before their flight was supposed to take off and get here, I had a dream that we were all in my car, and you've been in my SUV before, the red one that I have, the RAV4. In the dream, my wife was driving. I was in the back seat with my sister, and my mom was sitting in the front seat. And we ended up in a car accident. And my mom and wife ended up dying in the dream.
Oh my god! Wow.
And I woke up. You know that feeling? Are you claustrophobic?
I mean, to a normal extent, to where
Like
I
if you
was
went into
actually-
an MRI machine, like you'd like
Oh
feel
no,
uncomfortable.
yeah, no. If I'm in a situation where I know that like this is normal, then
Yeah.
I'm like in a elevator or something. But if I'm like actually trapped, then I will freak the fuck out. But yeah,
Yeah.
kind of
But
claustrophobic
kinda
in that way.
yeah. So, like, for the listeners or the viewers, if you have claustrophobia, which I fucking learned for the first time that I am claustrophobic when I had to get a brain MRI done a couple months ago. But
What?
anyways,
Okay, hold on. We're gonna have
yeah.
to address that later because I want to know why you had a brain MRI. But okay, keep going. We'll put a pin
Oh,
in that.
I was having some, like, bad migraines to the point where I was, like, throwing up.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah,
Shit.
but
So they didn't find
it's
anything
clear,
though,
though.
right?
It's clear. No
Okay.
tumors,
Okay.
no nothing.
Okay. Good.
It's
Good.
something else. I don't know.
It's just your shitty life weighing down on you. It's just the pile of oh yeah, you got shit life that like here's a prescription.
You just got a shit life. Here's the prescription. You and I do similar type of jobs, so you get it. You get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably that. But anyway, I'll digress from my medical ailments. But back to that. So I have the dream. I wake up in a state of fucking panic because it's like in the dream, like I was at the cemetery. I saw like the tombstones and everything.
Oh my god.
And yeah. And the next day they come and fast forward a few days later, and we were going to go to this antique shop. So we decided we were going to go there. And as we were going to the vehicle, initially my wife was going to drive and I was going to sit in the back with my sister, and my mom was going to be in the passenger seat. And then like that deja vu kicked in and I was like, nah, I'm going to drive.
Yep.
I'll drive. So for like the rest of the time they were there, I just drove everywhere. I did not
Yeah.
take that chance.
Yeah. Because you've had like precognition style dreams before, or not precognition, but like you've had dreams before that led to something really happening in the future, but not quite the same way. So it's kind of like a
Right.
little, so you don't want to roll the dice.
Kind of like a warning. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that was one of the creepy ones where I felt uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Now, here's another one. This happened probably last year. No, it wasn't last year. Fuck. Because my time is all messed up. Okay, so we've been in here since October. Yeah, I think it might have been May of last year. May of last year, because we were still in the old place. Okay. So I am an avid audiobook listener, and I had like a shit ton of like tokens to use on Audible. I saw that the Bible was narrated by oh my god, what's his name? James Earl Jones. I was like, who doesn't want to
Really?
fucking listen to James Earl Jones? Narrate
Interesting.
an audiobook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, and he narrated the Bible. I'm like, okay, this is pretty fucking awesome. So I ended up buying the book. I can't recall who we had recorded with, but up to that point last year, we've had quite a few guests come on sharing some demonic experiences and all that other stuff. And I don't know about you, but I think when we talk about this stuff, you kind of become a magnet for it. Like these things know you're talking about it, and you kind of open yourself up a little bit for that kind of
Yeah.
attention. So here's the weird thing. I went to bed that night. I woke up around 2 in. I couldn't sleep. I go downstairs and I lay on the couch and I turn on the audiobook of the Bible. And I didn't have my headphones on. I just let it play because at that point, like the air conditioner was like the central air was on. My wife was sleeping upstairs. One of the dogs came down and was laying there with me, and like the cats like to roam around downstairs at that time of night. Anyway, I lay down, I listen to the book, I fall asleep to it, and I don't remember falling asleep. But what I do remember is that while I'm sleeping, I can hear it playing. As I fell asleep, I shifted into dream. In dream mode, I am in the same exact position where I laid down and fell asleep. Same home, same everything. I get up, I hear commotion upstairs. I go upstairs. and I go to the spare bedroom slash office where I did all my recording. In said room is my wife and a few of her coworkers. One of the coworkers, the room is like lit up with candles and it's like a red aura everywhere.
Uh-oh.
One of the coworkers, they're all wearing these like black robes, and one of the coworkers is tied to the bed. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And my wife is like, oh, well, we're gonna sacrifice her to the demon.
Holy shit, dude.
I when I look away from my wife in that dream to the bed, there is this like minotaur looking type of creature standing over this person. I'm screaming at my wife and her friends, you guys need to fucking stop. What are you doing? And then I point at the creature and I'm like, you don't fucking belong here. Get the fuck out of here. And I fucking swing it.
Oh, wow.
And I fucking hit it. You know, in the dreams, like when you hit something, it's like hitting fluff. Bro. Bro.
What if you accidentally punched your cat in real life? Like that was the real feeling.
If I did, it would have been caught on the Blink camera.
Did you watch? You should have watched back to see if you actually swung in your dream, like in real life, or when you swung in the dream, if you swung in real life.
Not because when I woke up, I was laying in the same spot. I didn't move at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I like to cocoon myself with blankets and stuff, so I did not move. In that dream, I swing at it. You know, when you fucking hit stuff in dreams, it feels like you're not hitting anything. It's like a cloud. But no, I made contact with something.
Yeah.
And I like got on this fucking thing and I'm just like wailing at its face, like, get the fuck out, get the fuck out, get the fuck out. And it starts to run away. I kick it down the stairs.
wow.
Like I boot its ass down the stairs and like literally chase it out of my fucking.
Wow.
I wake up. I told you I went down there like maybe 1-2 o'clock in the morning.
Mhm.
I wake up and it's like just about to be 4. And
Wow.
the audiobook is still playing because I had it on a timer to shut off after a couple hours. And it just felt so real, dude. And I told my wife the dream the next day and I was like, y'all were going to sacrifice your poor friend. And I kind of left out the detail of, you know, that thing. And JJ always had this, like he has this saying, I guess it's a Southern thing, that you don't talk about nightmares before having breakfast.
Huh.
So later that afternoon, I called JJ and I was like, dude, what is this? Because I've never had a dream like that.
Mhm.
Let alone beating the shit out of like the Minotaur. Let's call it the Minotaur. I did not watch or play God of War prior to going to bed. I would like to make that explicitly clear. I didn't
No
watch
books
anything.
about Greek mythology. Yeah.
Nope, no books about Greek mythology. Nothing like. I probably watched, I don't know, like Ace Ventura or something, or Austin Powers. That night. So I wasn't on like my binge with mythology and like ancient history and all that stuff. I just found it really creepy and really weird, to the point where I didn't want to fall back asleep. I eventually did because I had to work the next day. So I don't know what it was. The only thing that like kind of still gets to me is that when you hit something in a dream, you don't feel anything. You're not supposed to feel. But for this one, I did. Like whoever we talked to, did we invite that thing to stick around?
Interesting.
What do you think that was? You think it was just kind of like a culmination of us taking on the energy from people sharing their stories about their ghostly encounters and demonic encounters, and that kind of manifested into, you know, a creepy ass dream? I don't know, dude. It's weird that I've had a nightmare like that I remember for such a long time. Because I've had really bad nightmares that I don't remember, but I know I had them, but I couldn't detail them to you. I was like, oh, I had something fucking creepy. But this one, it's like
very clear.
Very clear.
Me personally, I wouldn't worry that it was like anything for real. I think it might have just been like a mixture, a swirl of everything that's been going on lately. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there are any demonic images in Christianity that take on the form of like a half bull, half man, right? There's nothing like
not
that.
necessarily. It's always like the goat looking stuff.
Yeah, it's more like goat related. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. So it is interesting that you kind of fuse the two there, like, you know, Christian and then like Greek mythology, but it is kind of badass that Chris the demon hunter slayer in the dream you're just kicking the shit out of this demon and like
Fucking
kicking it
demon
down and
slayer.
tried to run. Yeah, you tried to like run or it tried to run away from you. That's a pretty good sign in the dream. I think I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
maybe to me a dream like that is more about you are frustrated, you have to let out your anger, like or not your anger, but like you have to let out your frustration from maybe work or other related stuff, and like you just needed something, and you happen to be listening to the Bible, so that you're already swirling around with that, like the demon stuff or whatever, and then but then you also are a historian, so you like you really want to punch a minotaur for some
Right.
reason. And you really want to see it scurry away from you. So that is pretty cool though, that in the dream that like you got the best of like you got on top of it. But let me just flip gears here for a second. Why do you think that your wife was trying to sacrifice somebody on a bed? That's the
It-
that's the
So
first
the thing
thing
is,
that
it's
should
like
happen.
her friend like talked her into doing it.
Oh, okay. So she
She was
wasn't
like,
like
I don't
the
know what. She's like, I don't know why they're doing this, but they're doing it. And I'm like, what the fuck is
she's
wrong with
not
you
like
people?
she's not like quietly kicking a Necronomicon under the rug behind her, like as
No,
she's talking to you,
no.
like, oh,
If I asked her what that was, she would not be able to fucking tell you what a
okay.
Necronomicon was. I, or
Or so
is.
she claims.
So she claims. You never know.
Hey, 300 years ago, if you had that dream, you probably would have been like, she's a witch. Like imagine you just have like like a dream like that doesn't mean anything, but your wife is in it doing something terrible. Like back in the day, people probably threw all kinds of,
Yeah.
accusations around and stuff. That
Oh, good
sucks.
lord. Yeah, yeah, that is a good point. Holy shit. But yeah, that was like that was my creepy ass one. There was another one that I had that I shared with you about the nun and like these like monked figures
Oh
like holding
yeah.
me down. And we kind of just laughed that one off because I was watching
Yeah.
like those movies in succession. So I just
Uh-huh.
chalk it up to that. But other than that, I can't say I've had anything really creepy or anything like that. I did have one like visitation dream of like my grandfather like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
No, not 3 years ago. It's probably going on 4 years now because this was during COVID. This is on my grandfather on my dad's side. When I was little, when I was with my grandparents, they would watch me when my parents were at work. And
Mhm.
for some reason, he just came to me in the dream and he's like, "Hey, you need to rewatch the Ramayana." And it's like
Oh.
my favorite like Hindu
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
mythology story. Like you've seen it, like
Mhm.
the 90s version of it.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
like it's really cheesy,
It's
but it's
campy, but it's fun.
yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's so good. And he just came to me in the dream and he's like, "Hey, you need to watch this."
Mhm.
So I don't know why. I just like fucking pulled it up on YouTube and everybody was working remotely at the time. So I was doing my work. One screen here, the other screen, just
Nice.
watching every episode. That's kind of like the weird, strange ones that I have that I can remember. I've had so many weird ones that I can't really remember. But you did start mentioning earlier that you had like a weird one that you remember from you were a kid. So why don't you
Yeah.
go into that?
Before we switch gears to that, I do wanna, touch on something that I think might be interesting for you and hopefully the viewers, but, like, you talked about a couple instances where you started dreaming not long after you ingested or digested some form of content or book or something, and it influenced you, right, in a little bit. So for me, what's crazy is that I think people can have different I mean, obviously, they have different mindsets, like, different ways of interpreting data and how their brain processes stuff. I am definitely not the person to have that happen to me because I've fallen asleep before with to sounds or like, music or not or like YouTube or TV or something. Like I used to fall asleep all the time to watching stuff. I don't think I ever really had moments where my brain shifted into a dream state that was directly related to what I was consuming, like watching or whatever. My brain just goes wild, like just in different, like, could be completely unrelated. But you seem to kind of have this predisposition to being like or picking up on things that are directly happening in the room with you as you're starting to dream. And I'm wondering if someone like you is more prone or like more capable of attaining like a level of lucid dreaming than someone like me, because I've had one lucid dream in my entire life and it was really, really, really cool. And I hear all the time, I see some TikToks every once in a while still where it's like, learn how to lucid dream. And I think I tried to learn how to do it one time. I just would not be able to do it. But you seem like somebody who might have an easier time getting into a lucid dream state. So I have to ask you, have you ever, like, what is lucid dreaming? And have you ever tried to do it or had a dream like that? Where you know you're in the dream. Well, I just answered it, but like that's what lucid dreaming is, right? Like you know you're in the dream and you have like some level of control in the dream to do whatever you want, which is basically the coolest thing ever. Like you could literally poof anything into existence in your dream and you literally know you're in a dream. And that's the craziest shit to me. But like, have you ever had that before?
I've had lucid dreams before in which I knew I was dreaming, but I never really like attempted to control anything.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like one of those things where you see like a griffin flying by and it's like, "Oh, I'm dreaming."
Yeah. Because
And then
griffins
I
are,
just
yeah.
yeah, that's like, "Oh, the Steelers won a football game. I must be dreaming." Like,
But
right?
either that or it's a time warp 10 years ago.
Right? I know. Fucking insane. But anyway, yeah, I've had those, but I can't really recall them. I just know that I've had them. Like it's like, oh, I was dreaming, and it's one of those dreams where like you wake up, and it's like, fuck, I want to go back to sleep so I could go back in, but it
Yeah.
doesn't happen. It's like son of a bitch.
Dude, we used to have dreams like that so much more when we were kids. Like
Yeah,
I feel like you rarely had bad dreams. At least I did. Like I rarely had nightmares and bad dreams when I was a kid. I used to have awesome dreams. And like now it's just like swirling mess of like shit of life and then mixed in with occasionally being chased by monsters, you know. It's like I want to go back.
I'm with you, man. What about you? Any lucid dreams?
One time that I remember, and oddly enough, it happened again when I was and it was very brief. It was a very, very short-lived dream. I just remember being on this grassy knoll, probably like because I, you know, back in the day, like Windows, was it Windows
Grassy
95 or
knoll.
something?
What
Oh
did
yeah.
you do?
I didn't do it. Um I was the magic bullet. No, I think was it Windows 98 or something where like there was that picture of the rolling hills in the background. That was like the default back or
Windows
background.
XP.
Windows XP. Okay.
Yeah.
So like that's where I was. Like I was in a scene like that in my dream. And I remember as a kid, I just became aware that I'm like, I'm dreaming right now. And I immediately decided to try to fly and I was able to fly. By the way, I'm so like I feel lucky as like getting older, like you have shit dreams now, but like occasionally I still have a dream where I can jump really, really high. And I've seen people post on TikTok or you know other platforms like people have that similar dream where for some reason you can just like run and jump and just like go 120 feet in the air and then come back down safely. And I think it's interesting that a lot of people have the same kind of dreams. I wonder what that says about the nature of our, you know, underlying reality and whatever about our brains and our whatever you want to call it. But that's a side note. But yeah, so lucid dreaming, I would love to learn how to do it. I don't know. I'm skeptical that I can do it because like the way my brain works and the stress and all that shit. Like I don't know if I could even reach that. But if I could do that, I would do it. Just to see what it's like to go to sleep every night, have a restful night's sleep, but then also get to like go shovel like platefuls of candy or like, you know, sundaes or something, or just like go play video, you know, do whatever I can't do in real life because of my health and my time. Go do that in the dream.
Next thing you
I
know,
just
you're
would.
like transforming yourself into this spirit type of thing while you're dreaming, going halfway across the world and fucking ransacking people's kitchens. And they're in the corner
Yeah.
terrified.
I saw this great bearded man eating all our food.
Hey, look, it's Peter Jackass. It's not Peter Pan.
Before I go to the genie dream, I do want to address one more dream too about grandparents. You had that dream about your grandfather, right? I also have had strange dreams about loved ones who have passed, and I have this recurring dream that is kind of a little bit, it'll sound creepy, but it's not in the dream, it's normal. I think it feels normal in the dream. Obviously my grandparents are long deceased, you know, like I'm getting up there and they're they've been gone for over a decade now. Well, actually more than that. Anyway, so I have this recurring dream where it's usually my grandfather, sometimes my grandmother, but my grandfather, he was buried, not cremated. He's in a cemetery. And I think. I actually don't remember. I know he has a plot, but I'm pretty sure he's buried. But so like in my dream, he comes back to life and he's back in the home that he had that I remember going to growing up, like there, my grandma, grandpa's home. I remember walking in the dream and looking at him and seeing like, I'm like blown away. I'm like, what? Like you're alive? Like how? Like you died. You were dead for a long time and you were in a coffin. Like, how did you get out? Like, well, how are you standing here? There's no blemishes on you. And he's like, the explanation in the dream was like, oh, he just came back to life. It was a miracle, or like, but he was still mortal. So the crazy thing in these dreams is there was always an awareness in the dream that he could go again at any second. Like he could have 5 more seconds with us, or he could have 50 more years with us, even though he was already approaching like 90. That's such an interesting, weird thing to dream about your grandparents, right? It's like they're dead, they're buried, they're gone. They are not coming back in this reality. But in the dream, they do come back and they're not like zombies. They're just like their normal selves. But they also died once, so in the dream that they could go again any second or any year or whatever. So it's kind of nice to get to spend more time with them in the dream, but it's also nerve-wracking because in the dreams that I had like this, I'm always like, oh my God, when are they going to drop dead again? Like right now, like what's happening? And so like that's probably one of the weirder ones that I had, but I had to bring that up because you were talking about grandparents.
You had your dream with your grandfather. When did you say was that?
I've had that same recurring dream off and on over years, but the last time I had it was probably 3+ years ago. It's been a while.
So if you had that off and on, it was I think maybe there's something to it. Like they come to you when they think you need that extra boost.
Yeah. A strange thing that pops in my mind talking about this sort of thing, and grandparents who are you're a direct descendant of somebody who passed away. There's something to genetic memory, I think. And I watched this really interesting video recently about this. I think he was a Maori from Australia. I don't know something like that. Maybe he was actually, I don't know, maybe he was Samoan, but he was talking about genetic memory, how, lines of your ancestors, their DNA, their structure is still in you. And there is such a thing as genetic memory. It's a real thing. Like, you take on traits from loved ones, who pass down their genes to you, and you take on their not just their looks, but sometimes their mannerisms, how they talk, how they walk. It's a real thing. Like you're literally being a part of them physically. And so it got me thinking. I'm like, well, if that's true, like what else can be imparted from genes and the stuff that's inside of us? And I'm like, well, wait a minute, maybe there's literally imprints from generations, at least the last 3 generations. I mean, I don't think anyone's having dreams about their great 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 grandparents, right? Because they never even got close to knowing them. Maybe the freshest people who were in our lives, like the people who were closest to us to our birth, maybe their visitations are strongest, and maybe there's something to that. Like maybe they're actually kind of in us in a way, and they're still speaking through us. And that's why, like, the reason why I say that is because I had this image in my head of your grandfather saying, "Oh, you need to watch that." Is it Ramayana?
Yeah, the Ramayana. Yep.
Ramayana. So he's like, you need to watch the Ramayana, and I'm wondering, like, well, maybe he's like imprinted in your genes somewhere, like he's still in there, in you somewhere, part of you, and he just really wanted to watch it again. Like and you like it too. So like he got to watch it through your eyes genetically. So, but anyway, like that's just like a little side thing. And then the last thing I want to bring up, which is kind of a flip to something else, isn't it crazy? Like, have you ever had a dream that it seems like it's going on for hours or even days? Like a dream that in the dream it's like days long of things happening, but then you wake up and it's like 15 minutes after you fell asleep. And I just had that again recently where I fell asleep. It might have even been the demon dream. I think it was the demon dream where in the dream it was hours long. Like the events that took place where I was walking around, eating food, meeting friends, demon, other things were happening. But it literally was a 15-minute. I fell asleep for 15 minutes and woke up. I'm like, wow, is that really all the time that passed? And so I think about like the metaphysical nature of reality and stuff like that, where like we live for 90 or like 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years and we die. And then what if we wake up at like our higher selves and this is the dream, this is a dream state. And we're like, wow, that dream was so long. I've only been asleep for 1,000 years. Like, I still have 500,000 years of life, on the higher level or something like that. But have you ever had a dream where that happened to you, where you fall asleep, it feels super long, but it's only like 10 minutes passes in real life?
Yeah, you wake up. You ever had those like where you like wake up and then you fall asleep and you continue it? I've had those.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Especially for the
God.
ones that I don't want to continue.
Oh, dude, oh my God, you just reminded me. I I I think I think I didn't want to address this today, like, because it was so scary and I like buried it down, but you just brought it back up to my conscious. I
Do
had
it.
thus okay, this is I would rather have 1,000 regular nightmares of things chasing me than this happen again. But I literally had the worst bout of sleep paralysis that I've ever had in my life. I just had it a couple days ago. And I was on the couch and I was so tired, like my body, like I've been going through a lot of stuff, like personal stuff lately that has been draining me of sleep and whatnot. I can't help it. It has to be done. So I have to be waking up at weird hours and getting little bursts of sleep and stuff. So I was downstairs on the couch and it was during the day, it was the afternoon, and I was just trying to get like maybe an hour of sleep to try to catch up a little bit. But I was dreaming that I was waking up on the couch, and in my dream it felt real, so I thought I really was waking up, but I couldn't move. And I'm like, okay, I get this a bunch of times, like this isn't anything new. I just try to like relax. Sometimes I try to fight my way out, and that's the scary part when you're like paralyzed and you can't move from your dream state and you don't want to fall back asleep because it feels like you're dying. That's what I feel like. I hate that feeling, but I still sometimes I try to fight out of it, but sometimes I end up falling back asleep. But this time I tried to fight waking up and I couldn't do it, and I fell back asleep, and then I woke up again on the couch, and I thought that I had really woken up for real. Like I had the sleep paralysis, fell back asleep, and then I thought I woke up for real. Guess what? I didn't. And I couldn't move again. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. This happened like 5 or 6 times in a row where I would wake up and it would feel real, and then I couldn't move. I could maybe get my leg off the edge of the couch, and I'm like, like really. My daughter was playing next to me. Like in real life, she was playing next to me, but she was actually on the other side of the room. But in the dream, she was next to me, and I was trying to get her attention. I was trying to yell for help, like someone come shake me so I can wake up. And it was like Groundhog's Day, the movie Groundhog Day, where he keeps waking up at the same every single day. Like I'm fucking telling you, it was just the worst shit. I kept waking up thinking I had really woken up. And there was even one part where I got my wife to come down and shake me awake. And then I had gotten up and then I walked upstairs. And as I was walking up the stairs, I reset on the couch. I started freaking out in my dream. I thought I was having a heart issue or something that was keeping me from fully waking up. I was paralyzed. I thought something was wrong with me. Like, why do I keep waking up in the same spot? And eventually I snapped out of it. And I was pretty sure that when I woke up that it was reality. Like this is the real thing. But it still kind of felt like a dream. And so I quickly like got up and walked around. I paid attention to the floor under my feet, and I walked up the stairs and I told my wife what happened. And as I was talking to her, I felt like there was still like a 30% chance that I was going to wake back up on the couch. And my brain must have been fucking fried from all the exhaustion and stress and stuff like that. But I have never in my life had a repeating form of sleep paralysis like that made me think I was going to reset again on the couch. That's like a true nightmare in my mind.
Are you awake?
I know. Don't say that. If I wake up on the couch, I'll throw myself out the window. That would not be funny.
No,
that would be a form of torture. Okay.
Oh man.
So okay, dude. So we've been going for a while. I think we got some really great stories and banter. And I think we could talk all freaking day about dream
dreams
stuff.
and stuff. Yeah.
And we will. I think we'll probably revisit this at some point because there's so much more to unpack here.
Yeah.
If anybody's there's probably no one waiting to hear this because it's whatever. But the genie dream. This is super quick. It's in the same vein as the demon dream I had. But when I was a kid, I think I was like 11 or 12. I had this dream of like a nice genie, and now you're an adult, like genies historically or traditionally aren't nice; they're mischievous and like all that stuff. But Disney. So I had this dream about a genie that was really like nice and like, oh, I'm going to grant you 3 wishes, young man. And in my dream, I was so excited. It was such a happy, fun dream. And I think I wished for like child, like regular kid stuff. Like, oh, I wish that I could fly. And then the genie in the dream is like, your wish is granted. And in the dream, I could like fly. I was flying through the clouds. I'm like, this is amazing. Like I'm flying like Superman. And then he's like, okay, what's your second wish? And I wish for $1,000,000, because when you're, 20 or 30 years ago when we were kids, $1,000,000 is a fucking lot of money. And now it's not, but back, I wish for $1,000,000 or something like that. And like granted, and there's like a big pile of cash that pops in front of me. But then this is kind of where I guess I kind of have had a semi-lucid dream twice before, because I talked about the first one where I chose to fly, or like I could fly in the dream. This is a second time where I kind of had a lucid dream, because in the genie dream I realized I was dreaming. In the dream I decided that I'm like, I better, like I'm dreaming, but so that means that flying is not real, and that means the money isn't real. The last wish has to be, I wish this is all real. I wish this happens to me in real life. And as I started saying that wish, fucking woke up. I woke up, right, and I'm telling you, I had the biggest feeling of FOMO in my, like, if FOMO was a thing 25 years ago, that's what I would feel like. It was like, oh my God, I was so close. Yeah, I really believed. I believed as a kid, if I just got that wish out, that it really would have been real. Like I really would have been able to fly, really would have had $1,000,000 or whatever. And I still regret it to this day. I'm like, oh man, I'm so close.
Oh, that
So
fucking
close.
sucks. It's your fault. That
It's
was our
all my
chance
fault.
for our $1,000,000, and you just ruined it because you had to wake up.
Dude, $1,000,000 is gonna buy shit. I can't retire on $1,000,000 right now. It's,
No, it would keep me.
oh,
That would probably keep me out of work for 3 years.
yeah,
No,
3 years, right? 10 years. I think
no,
10
it
years.
depends. Yeah, 10 years or so. Yeah, because I wouldn't plan on buying anything drastic, to be honest.
Oh hell
I
no! I'd pay off my house. Yeah,
I'd
like
pay
oh my God,
exactly.
I just debt gone. That's the only thing I want.
That's it. That's it. But yeah, dude, asshole, you just had to wake up, didn't you?
Well,
Oh
I
man.
could almost fly.
But yeah, man, we've gone for a little bit. I think we've, like you, to your point, we've gotten some interesting stories from one another that we've never shared with each other before.
Yeah,
So
content.
that was pretty cool. Before we end today, I will do a call to action to the listeners. Like, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts on these? Well, listeners and viewers, what are your thoughts on dreams like that? Have you had those dreams yourself?
Yeah, I really want to know that. Like, if people
Yeah.
have had similar dreams, like copy dreams, that would be really cool.
Yeah, tell us your creepy shit. Tell us your creepy shit. Like if you've had like really creepy nightmares that have stuck with for your entire life. Send us an email if you want us to share it. We can. If you don't want us to share it, just be explicit about it. Tell us like, please don't share this, but I just want to share it with you. We'll be completely respectful about that. And also, if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment of one of the weirdest dreams that you've had, or just comment on whether you've had those dreams at all, or your thoughts about it. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. All of our contact information will be on our episode descriptions below on YouTube, and also on our episode descriptions on Spotify and Apple. Reach out to us. Let us know. Did you have creepy dreams? Have you had visitation dreams? Does it mean something? What are your thoughts about it? We'd love to hear it.
You've reached the end of tonight's journey on the Wandering Road. The show is written and produced by me, Chris, and my co-host, Dean. If you've got a scary story of your own, or if you'd like to join us as a guest, send your tale to twroadpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to follow us on social media for more haunted fun. And if you enjoyed tonight's episode, please rate, review, and share the show. It helps keep the lantern burning for fellow travelers. Until next time, keep your eyes on the road and your mind in the shadows, because the wandering never ends.